I tried pre-soaking all of the bolts and their connections using a plus gas penetrating and releasing fluid, but they still wouldn't budge. Let's loosen the washer. I'll give that a little bit of a clean. It's a kind of stepped bolt. It's quite thin in the shank. This one and this one are going to be trickier because they're still in the lugs, and I've got to be careful I don't break the lugs. I could use an angle grinder, but then I've got no chance of really undoing that. Might be worth having to go with the angle grinder. So I had to resort to using the angle grinder. I was able to cut through the shaft of the bolts. So I just cut through these bolts that were on here, and it was possible to get the angle grinder in behind the lug and just nip that, and it came off. They're very soft, so they cut through extremely easily and quickly. And so now the top's off. You can see I couldn't get that stub out, and that one is flush, so if you were going to keep this top you'd have to tap those out, but the top is recoverable. But since I'm putting a new top on it anyway, it doesn't really matter. So I do need to save the collar, so that'll need to come off. And for the back I also need to save the blanking plate on the rear. I'm going to be using a little bit of the grinder with a fairly beefy wheel on. Carol's using the slightly more genteel wire brush on the rechargeable, and it's just a matter of cleaning all of the panels, making sure that all the crud in the old rope is removed, and then she's going to be painting them with some Hammerite high heat paint. So anyway, more later. Unfortunate discovery when we were cleaning the Morso. There's a couple of cracks. They're at the top of the front, and they're right behind the lugs. So I think this is now a scrap front, and I can just see the line of the crack there. So that is a pain, and also to make matters worse, what's it doing, Carol?
It's trying to sleep. We thought we would need to buy a new stove front, but our marine mechanic gave us an old Morso stove that he had been storing for a while, and although it was slightly different in design, the door fit perfectly. Thank you, Mick.
Carol's going to wash down the panels to make sure there's no grease on any of the surfaces that are going to be painted. She'll get high as a kite now. Just stop breathing for 10 minutes.
About it. Whew. Strong stuff.
Yeah. always liked those end panels on the Squirrel.
Pretty,
It's
aren't
nice, nice design.
They're pretty.
I decided to clean some of the internal panels so that everything would fit together more neatly.
Okay, so I've wiped down all the panels of the stove that we're going to be using for the outside. These bits we don't need to worry about. They're going to be on the inside. And I've used a Hammerite thinner, brush cleaner and thinner, just to make sure there's no grease. Ah! Thanks. Now this husband of mine has just sprayed me. We're rinsing everything.
I just degreased her.
Yeah, he just degreased me. So we're rinsing everything down, and then we're going to let it dry because the rain has passed and we've got blue skies. So once that's all dry, then I am going to be bringing out a big box and I will be spray painting it inside. Wish me luck! Spray painting takes a lot longer than you might think. This is the back of the stove, which Rob had to purchase, and it was already painted, but I gave it another coat, and I'll probably do one more. It's just out drying. This is, well, we've got a panel in here, and I'm not sure you'll be able to see it. It's only had a very light spray, the very first spray, just to get, I have to give it about a half hour so that it can set, and then I'll be able to spray over that a little heavier. This is one that I've already completed. Again, light's not great, but you can see that it's quite matte and it looks pretty good. It's kind of bringing it back to its original finish. I've still got the front to do. That's sort of what it looks like when you haven't done it yet. It's got rusty color and it's not very nice. And I also need to do this bit, which is the door and the feet for the base. So I'll just keep working as I can before we lose the light.
Well, I hope you don't have any unexpected guests. This is the Morso Squirrel, currently residing on the sofa bed in our saloon. Brings a whole new meaning to an iron bedstead.